And so welcome to this celebration of the annual day for International Women's Day, which is March the 8th. And welcome on this special year of 2016, 100 years since the start of the momentous events that in our country's history which led ultimately to our independence. This college and these very rooms that you're sitting in this morning had a place in those seminal events, which is why we're here to reflect in and on them this morning. So the theme this morning here in RCSI is Enabling Leadership, 100 years on from the revolutionary women of 1916. And the session will be chaired by Dr. Aoibhinn Suilleabhain, and Aoibhinn will introduce herself and her panel to you shortly.
So today what we're going to speak about is enabling leadership, because we had those women who were leaders of their time back in 1916, and the issues that greeted them are perhaps very different to ones that are greeting women now.
If we look at education, not from the intake, but if we look at careers in education, we see absolutely shocking statistics that really aren't any better than they were in the 60s in terms of women at the highest levels in academia, particularly in STEM, science, technology, engineering, maths and medicine. And only 11% of the full professors are women.
Sometimes we worry more, I think, as women about how we say things than actually the content of what we're saying. And I want to be measured on the content of what I'm saying, not how I'm saying it, whether I said it nicely or whether I didn't say it nicely or whether I sounded aggressive when I said it. And I think that might be the unconscious bias that exists, that, when we're listening to people, are we listening to what they're saying or are we listening to how they're saying it?
Because I think you've got to be aware, it's not always women who voice aren't heard. There's different people in the room. And just because the three people, and I'm generally one of them, shouts the loudest doesn't mean you're right. So it's to try and make sure that everybody gets heard in the meeting.
I think the best male leaders I have seen have high empathy, good team, well able to collaborate. Yes, they're results focused. The best women leaders I've seen are results focused, high empathy. Leadership characteristics are not gender characteristics, and yet we talk about the female leadership trait and the male leadership trait.
I would never have felt that the possibility of reaching to the top was never there for you because you are a woman. Okay. So therefore, we have lots of role models there who act as I said, mentors and coaches for us. So you never felt starting off in a career like this that there was no possibility of you reaching the top, because there was a possibility, and there were so many women who have done it in front of us then, who provide us with that guidance.
The means by which we've achieved progress, and will continue to do that, are varied, and sometimes they themselves are a source of controversy amongst us. There may be a tension, for example, between the approaches of meritocracy, of gender quotas, of positive discrimination, and so on. And I think Constance Markovich and her sister, who is Eva Gore Booth, of course they were the Booth sisters of Lissadale House in Sligo that Yeats spoke of, they illustrate this very tension in one family and among sisters. And their lives remind us that these struggles have been achieved by real people.